tomorrow I've got a meeting with 6 different departments on campus to talk about how we can go about implementing a no-wheel zone on the Haley Concourse at the start of next semester. So it's going to be exciting, looking to get some good steps in place to make that happen, and excited to bring them back to you guys after that so we can spread the word to students that that's something that we can do. It's going to be really good. Next thing, asking y'all's feedback on this. We'd love to hear y'all's experience because we've heard a lot from people about what happened last Thursday with the AU alerts. I guess if there's anything of concern, I know there's a lot of concern, but anything specific to like situations that you were in, maybe about classrooms or things that weren't done, or parts of, like for example, in the rec and in the student center, the monitors outside and like the open areas didn't show that there was an AU alert going on. That is an example of the system not working. So there's a couple of those instances going on. So any experiences that y'all have had with that, we'd love to hear about it after Senate tonight. Just feel free to go on to your next meeting, because I'd love to hear that. And we're having open meetings about it the rest of this week, so that'd be really helpful. We have a board of trustees meeting next week. There's a couple items on the agenda. Big ones are the final approval of the new Cambridge residence hall. It's going to have 640 or 680 beds, and then also we'll be giving a presentation on the North End Zone project, hoping to start the process of getting that approved to become an actual project. On Thursday, I'm meeting with Dr. Damon, talk about the studs and a couple of the issues they've been having in Jordan Hare Stadium. Thank you, all of you studs that have been giving me some of y'all's feedback. It's been really, really helpful. And also, if y'all have anything else that y'all would like to add for that meeting on Thursday, please come up to me after and let me know. We'd love to bring that to her. I think it'll be a good meeting and we'll reach a solution for you guys. And then lastly, we have a meeting with EAB next Tuesday. So EAB is the third-party software company that makes the software for Advise Assist. If any of you guys want to join, Vera and I and a couple other folks are going to that meeting. We'd love to have y'all there. It's next Tuesday morning if you're interested in anything related to university advising or Advise Assist. If you have any thoughts or opinions, it would be a great place to go and voice that. So we'd love to have you join us if you want to. But yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Owen. Now for our treasurer. Thanks, Haley. Now for outreach.
Hey everybody, hope y'all are having a good week. I feel like I'm kind of like mixed between summer and winter tonight in my outfit, so apologies for wearing one after Labor Day, but had to do what I had to do. Okay, so first we got this upcoming Wednesday, we have Mogus with the Mayor by the Albee statue. That's going to be from 8 to 10. We'd love to see you there. It's a combination between Mogus with the Mayor and talking to the cops, kind of get city officials and safety officers in front of the people and in front of the students. So we'd love to see you all there and just come and say, hey, come talk to the mayor, come talk to a police officer. It's going to be great. And so there's that. We also had today a collaboration between Auburn Global and Student Careers, and we did some international student tour on campus with the True Pathway group, which is kind of the group in Auburn Global that's a little more integrated into student life on campus. And that was awesome. It was really, really great. And then thirdly, we had a meeting this past Friday with Auburn Global, Paxton, ISA Liaison, and then also the graduate schools to talk about the information that's available to international students about housing and just the ways that we can improve that process and make it easier for them to transition. And so we kind of have a pathway going forward in which we think we're going to send out a survey to international students and kind of get their take on what are the specific ways that information can be delivered to them and what information would be most helpful. And then once we do that, we can kind of create a new web page under the housing page to make that more accessible for them. So super excited for that. And then lastly, just maybe on the slide, but the city council is in the process of trying to pass a moratorium on student housing in downtown Auburn, specifically Clinton, for the next 3 years. And they're going to be voting on that not tomorrow, but the next Tuesday. And basically, just a little more info on this. They have 2 major complexes that were planned and are going to go through that would add a lot of housing for students. And those are not going to stop. Those are going to continue. It's just going to be on any new plans, new projects for student housing in the next 3 years. And so that's a little more information on that, but they delayed the voting last week to a week from tomorrow. So I just want to update you on that. But so much y'all leave feedback on anything, please.
Thank you, Vera. And now for chief of staff.
Okay, happy Monday, everyone. Sorry it's so cold. And thank you for bringing cans. So exciting. So Better Relations Day, Spirit Tunnel is going to be on November 17th around 8:30. Please keep signing up. The sign-up sheet is in the GroupMe, and it's going to be so much fun and a great way to welcome our guests. Also, y'all have probably seen the GroupMe. If not, please check it. We have Peter Millar polos and quarter zips for boys, and then we also have a storefront that's a little more casual, like sweatshirts, quarter zips, like cheaper, a little more like $30 range. All of that is going to close on Friday. So if you order the quarter zip or the Peter Millar polo, you're going to fill out the Google form. Your order isn't going to be counted until you Venmo Jackson or Bella. So check the GroupMe for which one is which. But you will not be counted in the order if you don't Venmo for that. The storefront is more so like individual payments. So you're just going to go in, order it yourself. All that's going to get shipped here a little bit easier. But all that's going to close Friday, so please get that in. And then also t-shirts are here, which is so exciting. I know a lot of y'all got them before Senate, but if you didn't, there are going to be some times that people are going to be in the Student Center for pickup, and I will send those in the GroupMe. But thank y'all so much. Have an awesome Monday.
Thank you, Madeline. And then NIMS isn't here, but Safety Week is this week, so go see them on the concourse. And then thank you to everyone that went to Safety Walk. Now for committee reports, beginning with Academic Affairs.
Academic Affairs, no updated report.
Now for ADO.
Okay, hey y'all, Connor, Co-Sam. So there's safety walk today, which was so fun, and just thankful that AO was able to take part in the accessibility side of it and getting able to have that feedback for it. And then just some other updates is that with the graduate school, they're going to have a new school or a new student welcome January 9th from 2 to 4 p.m. in the ballroom. So if you have any graduate students that are coming next semester, please let me know. And then also we're going to send a social media request for graduation cords, like to make a flyer so it can be more push out that you have this opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Now for Budget and Finance.
Hail business. I hope you had a great weekend. I've got two things. We've got our spring and summer final budgets coming across as a current order tonight, so we'll be voting on those later. Next off, Lily and I met with Charlotte earlier today, and I think next week Lily's got some more budgets or code changes coming across that have to do with the budget and finance process. And so I think I'm going to kind of give a rundown, a little bit of a presentation on the changes that were made, and then also how those are going to affect us. Because I know, at least for outside of the Budget and Finance Committee, that a lot of people don't really understand what's completely going on, especially with all the changes. And so I'm going to hopefully give you all a little bit of a better understanding of what happened and what things are going to look like from here on out. So that's all I've got. I hope you all have a great week.
Thank you. Now for Code of Laws.
Full at large. Yeah, going off what Colin said, we had a great meeting today with Charlotte, working on the upcoming changes to the finance law that just reflects the process that the BNF committee is going to be using from here on out. So we're excited about those, a lot more condensed version of what they're doing. So that's great. And then our committee's still going ahead and working on the overall Senate absences project. Still thinking about those. So if you have any thoughts about that, text me. And then tonight, yes, we have legislation coming across that removes SAPs from the code and adjust the open to all statement according to the university policies. So we'll just be looking out for that tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Now for Student Affairs.
Lord at large. This is on. Turn on.
There we go. Okay, Nothing really much from student affairs. We did not have a patio project meeting today, so we'll be working on that more next week. Just a reminder that that will not be before the Iron Bowl, but it'll be after we get back from Christmas. So y'all be looking out for me. I'll be hopefully getting some more updates next week, getting some plans finalized, and hopefully everyone in this room can be a part of that. That would be really awesome. Sorry. Number two, we have a couple of, I had a lot of feedback come to me about the apps that Auburn has, and a lot of people really are not aware of those. So the Auburn app is the main app that you can use to get to AU access and all that stuff. And there's a lot of people that are asking me of why the apps are not centralized, and that is an internal thing that we cannot work on right now. There's a lot of freshmen asking me about this, but that's something that's probably gonna happen in the next like 3 or 4 years, low-key, when none of us are here anymore. But I was getting a lot of questions about that and why there's so many that you have to download. So just wanted to let y'all know about that. Also, another kind of fun thing, participate in Safety Walk and Safety Week and all the things that are going on. I gave a friend a Band-Aid in class today, literally no lie. They were like, why do you have one? And I was like, let me tell you why. But yeah, so y'all participate in all the things, it'll be really fun. I'm doing Creed Day next week, would love for y'all to join me on the concourse. Emily Shannon sent that out in the all SGA group chat, so y'all be sure to sign up for that too. Thanks.
Thank you. Now for freshman committee.
All right, so a lot of campus dining come and talk to us last week. One thing that I thought of that also some of my peers reached out to me about is the lack of seating in the wellness kitchen. I don't know how many of y'all have been there, but the wellness kitchen's great, the food's awesome. The only problem is there's not a whole lot of seats, and the seats that are there are pretty big and then take a lot of space. And one thing that a couple weeks ago, like I was there with some of my buddies, and we had to go. There's a bunch of groups of people standing and eating like at tables without any chairs because there weren't any seats left. So I think one thing we could do in the near future is talk to campus dining about either doing a complete overhaul of seating or getting something similar to like the Edge or the Village where there's a lot of seats, like smaller seats, so we can fit more people into that small area.
Yeah, and then two things I noticed, both in the parking lot by the football stadium, I guess over there. One is the digital display that kind of shows how many parking spots there are. Every time I come in there, it always shows a number, a green number with a lot of spots on there, and then when I actually go through, there's no spots. So I don't know if that's me not counting right or that it's actually wrong. So maybe if we could have a technician or something come out, I don't know how easy of a thing it is to do, but just come and look and see if that's an easy fix or if that needs to be completely looked at. Again, I think that'd be very helpful to a lot of people. And then also, I realized that there are bathrooms in the parking lot today. I don't know if everybody knew that. But maybe just some better signage for that, just so that people are more aware of that as they're going to the parking lot and use the bathroom. And yeah.
Thanks, guys. Now for executive committee.
Massey at large. Hey y'all. Reminder that I said last week, but make sure that you attend one Senate executive meeting before the semester's over. And that's Wednesday at 1 p.m. in the Student Center in Conference Room B. So we can send reminders about that, but if you have questions, just please text me or email me. And now I'll do roll call. Okay, so Senator Lord.
Here.
Senator Wisdom.
Here.
Senator Poole.
Here.
Senator Bolton.
Here.
Senator Alspo.
Here.
Senator Blanco.
Here.
Senator Bowman.
Here.
Senator Campos. Senator Congo.
Here.
Senator Connor.
Here.
Senator Duro.
Here.
Senator Eskew.
Here.
Senator Ford. Senator Hale.
Here.
Senator Herring.
Here.
Senator Holliday.
Here.
Senator Hasso. Senator Jones.
Here.
Senator Story.
Here.
Senator Perdue. Senator Pritchett.
Here.
Senator Roberts.
Here.
Senator Robertson.
Here.
Senator Scott.
Here.
Senator Smith. Senator Stanley.
Here.
Senator Sturry. Senator Troutman.
Here.
Senator Verma.
Here.
Senator Ward. Senator Watson.
Here.
Senator Wolf. Senator Weiss. Senator White. Senator Wilson. Senator Kelly. Senator Weidman.
Here.
Senator McReynolds.
Here.
Senator Davis. Dariso, Senator Sally, Senator Linder, Senator Dolan, Senator Ingram, and Senator Zubia. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now for liaison reports, beginning with the Honors Congress.
None, honors Congress, no report.
Thank you. Now for BSU.
Clark, BSU, no report.
For ASBA, not here. ROTC, not here. And ISO.
Hi everyone. So Vera was talking about all the updates with the international student housing, which is really exciting. Also, we just hosted Peace Dinner, our largest event of the year, and I got to see a lot of your faces there, which was really exciting. One thing that came up during this event that I think would be a potential thing to keep in mind is, so on our AU Involve, like if you've ever hosted an event or anything, you go through the campus lab and AU Involve, and then you use the event pass to scan people in. So we recorded 900 people attending this event, but we gave out 1,500 pieces of wrapped things of silverware. So we think a lot of this comes from, there's community members, and you can add them as a guest through a non-Auburn email, but these families were bringing maybe 2 to 3 children per family. So we have a bunch of those kids who weren't accounted for, or people who just snuck into the event. So there might need to be some changes in how we record attendance, just so that we get an accurate representation of all of our organizations' hard work. Okay. And if you went to the Peace Dinner and you have any feedbacks, we tried a lot of different stuff this year. I would love to hear it. Okay, awesome. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Now we have current orders of business, PSSB 25110301 through 08, beginning with 01, brought to you by Senator Wolf.
Wolf Agriculture, ask for approval of the following. Allocation of $1,100 from the reserve fund to a line item titled Events and Services in the Circle budget. These funds will support Circle Snaps event and will be used specifically for reserving the Student Activity Center and renting the Alpha Lit letters. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing there is none, we will now move into a vote. All right, we're still waiting on about 10 more votes, so make sure you refresh your canvas. All right, we're waiting on 2 more. If you're voting on your phone, make sure it went through, because I know that causes issues a lot of the times. waiting on one more. All right, the yeses have it, and this bill has been adopted. Now for PSSB 25110302, brought to you by Senator Hill.
Ask for approval of the following, the allocation of $68,370 to the Student Government Association for spring and summer 2026 semester. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. All right, the yeses have it, and this bill has been adopted. Now for PSSB 25110303, brought to you by Senator Blanco.
Blanco CEDC has approval of the following, the allocation of $43,870 to the International Student Organization for spring, summer 2026 semester. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. Waiting on one more vote. We all refresh your canvas to make sure it went through. The yeses have it, and this bill is adopted. Now for PSSB 25110304, brought to you by Senator Wolf.
Wolf Agriculture, ask for approval of the following, allocation $29,310 to the Student Media Activity Portfolio for the spring, summer 2026 semester. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. The amount of $6,010 to be allocated among the following categories to Eagle Eye TV. The amount of $11,250 will be allocated among the following categories to the Auburn Circle. The amount of $7,750 to be allocated among the following categories to the Glamourado. The amount of $4,300 to be allocated among the following categories to Eagle 91.1 FM radio. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? Second. It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. The yeses have it, and this bill has been adopted. Now for PSSB 25110305, brought to you by Senator Bolden.
Bolden at large, ask for the approval of the following. The allocation of $12,050 to lead Auburn for the spring-summer 2026 semester. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. The yeses have it, and this bill has been adopted. Now for PSSB 25110306, brought to you by Senator Blanco.
Blanco CEDC, I ask approval of the following. The allocation of $57,850 to the Black Student Union for the spring-summer 2026 semester. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. The yeses have it, and this bill has been adopted. Now for PSSB 25110307, brought to you by Senator Troutman.
Trout to Fortune Wildlife and Environment. I ask approval of the following. The allocation of $252,300 to the Programming UPC Student Activity Portfolio for the spring-summer 2026 semester. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. The yeses have it, and this bill has been adopted. Now for PSSB 25110308, brought to you by Senator Robertson.
Robertson Pharmacy, I ask for the approval of the following. The allocation of $13,500 to service programs for the spring-summer 2026 semester. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. The allocation of $7,500 to Auburn University Dreammakers, the allocation of $2,000 to Beat Emma Food Drive, the allocation of $4,000 to Impact. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? It is moved and seconded to adopt the bill just read. Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will now move into a vote. The yeses have it, and this bill has been adopted. Next in order is future orders of business, PSSB 25111001, brought to you by Senators Poole and Sturry.
Story VetMed. I ask for the approval of the following changes to the Auburn University Student Government Association Code of Laws regarding the removal of student activity portfolios and adjustments to the anti-discrimination statement from university policy.
Are there any questions on this future order?
I'm gonna explain it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we can explain first.
Okay, pool at large, I'm just gonna kind of go through this bill with you guys. Overall, the main changes are removing student activity portfolios, which are like the sections that are over the student activity organizations, mostly affects the budget process. And then the second main thing is adjusting the, anti-discrimination policy in the university, which is just according to overall university policy and federal law. So we're just kind of updating our code according to those things. So the main changes we're going to see at the beginning, the table of contents for chapter 900, which is the main chapter we're going to go through in a little bit. We just changed the table of contents to reflect that. Similar with Title 15, anti-discrimination, it's going from the word policy to statement. And then in chapter 300, what we're going to see is going from student activity organizations, or going to student activity organizations, it used to say portfolios. So like now anytime in the code we see student activity portfolios, we're going to see organizations individually. And then if you'll keep going. Same thing in chapter 400, recognize student organizations instead of portfolios. And then chapter 1500 is the actual anti-discrimination statement with just minor adjustments. Also, just to make note on this bill, all of these changes that we have are like only the new changes that we're bringing in. So anything that the code used to say, normally we would show you what it used to say. This is a really long bill. So if you're wondering what it used to say, I would encourage you to go look at the code and look what it used to say and read it because that would make this bill really long. Same thing, definitions on the financial representative side, just each organization will have a financial representative in hearings instead of one representative for the portfolios. Okay, and then on chapter 19, we're going to go ahead and strike the entire thing just to make it easier and replace it with everything you're seeing. So the rest, and this outlines everything in terms of student activity organizations so that they can operate on their own in the VNF process instead of under portfolio. So obviously it's really long. If you have questions on it, I would encourage you to go look and see what the code used to say to see what we're bringing it to now. And I'll also encourage you to ask me questions. All right.
Are there any questions on this future order? Senator Troutman?
Yeah, so I don't want to keep this here until 2 a.m., but if you could just kind of send out, just like in plain English over the course of the next week, just kind of what effects this is going to have.
Mhm.
And so just like very quickly, just if this passed next Monday night, what's that going to look like?
Totally. Okay. The main thing that's going to happen is, like I said, the VNF process. So those organizations are going to be representing themselves in hearings instead of like on the overall portfolios. Removing the portfolios is going to bring, I think, mostly to like the governance side, since like SGA is the main governing body, it's going to kind of like separate that out in a sense instead of having like a governance section overall. That's really just going to be left to SGA. I think is really like the main effects. But I can send those out to you guys if you want them.
Are there any other questions on this future order? All right, and if y'all have any questions this week, feel free to reach out to me or Lily, or we can all help y'all better understand it. I know it's a really long bill and a lot to process, so if y'all need help before next Monday, just reach out. Now for announcements from me. First, campaign registration is still open, but it closes next Monday at 4:45. It will not be extended. So make sure if you're re-registering or if you know anyone registering that they do it before Monday at 4:45 and then continue tabling the next few weeks. And then we are gonna have Senate next Monday, because we have some pieces of legislation that really need to be on the floor. So make sure you're here next Monday, even though it's Better Relations Day. But yeah, that's all from me, and this meeting is now adjourned.